Welcome, volleyball fans. We are here at Jenkins Fieldhouse on the beautiful campus at Florida Southern College. This is Jill Stevens. I'm filling in for our pro play-by-play, Julie Adams, and here with me is Debbie Hendricks, our color commentary. Welcome.
Thank you, Jill.
Excited for tonight. This evening we are ready to see a great volleyball match between Florida Southern College and the Spartans at University of Tampa. This has always been a huge rivalry for the Mocs and the Spartans. Both are looking to get their third Sunshine State Conference win. Both teams are 2-0, undefeated in the conference, and have not played since their last match 11 days ago, where Florida Southern beat Rollins and Tampa beat Embry-Riddle in 3 sets, both matches. Debbie, talk about what it's like to take 11 days off and have to come back and compete in a match like this tonight. It's such a, the number one Spartans against Florida Southern.
I got to be honest, in my 24 years of coaching, we hesitated to give our team 2.5 days, 3 days off in a row. So, every now and then you'll get a weekend where you take the entire weekend off. But to think about 11 days. So, I think there's going to be a little rust. They both, I believe, got back in the gym on Monday. They've had 2 days basically to practice and, try to get that rust knocked off, get back into a flow. Both teams were really playing very well. So you're hopeful that, they haven't lost that flow. They just have to have some practice to get back into it. And I think the best thing at this point is just to get back on the court and play.
Right. And both teams are coming off the same 4 wins. The last 4 matches they've both played West Florida, which is a top region team, Valdosta State, a top region team. Both teams winning those 2 huge region matches to put them in a really good position for region play. And then they both played, they're travel partners, so they always are going to play the same teams each weekend. They just switch each night. So in a very similar situation where they are right now.
They are, and they're both 2-0, which is a nice spot to be in. So now you see this match between the 2 teams that are undefeated in the league. Probably very nice for the Mocs to have this opportunity first at home, especially since they have had so much time off. But I think, this should be a very competitive match tonight. Lots of implications here, but certainly we have a lot of conference schedule still ahead of us.
Absolutely. And I think both teams have played really tough preseason tournaments. They both hosted a home tournament and then traveled, and I think it prepared them for the conference very well.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I don't know. I haven't looked at every single conference team in detail, but I would have to think these 2 teams played the toughest preseasons. And you have to. This is an incredibly tough league. So I would think they'd rather take a few losses early, as Florida Southern took 2. Of course, Tampa's still undefeated. For every coach, that gets to be a bigger and bigger target the further you go. But I think that tough scheduling best prepares you for this league.
Absolutely. We're going to jump to the court action, listen to our voice of the Mocs on the court with Sherry Zabo with the national anthem, and then introducing the teams tonight.
At this time, we ask that you please rise for the playing of the Star Spangled Banner.
We're going to... All right, we're going to go ahead and talk through our starting lineups for the University of Tampa Spartans junior a junior outside hitter from Cornelius, North Carolina, Megan Schreck. Junior from Honduras, right side, Natalie Perez. Senior setter from Sherwood, Illinois, Zoe Saput. Junior outside hitter from Louisville, Kentucky, Tess Schringer. Junior middle blocker from Newman, Georgia, Rachel Gregg. And sophomore middle blocker from Viera, Florida, Matt Carter. In the libero position is J.J. Ramirez from Fleming Island, Florida. Head coach for the Spartans are Chris Katnack in his 41st season. For the Mocs, I'm going to run through them quickly. Mackenzie Peterman, grad student outside from Richmond Hill, Georgia. Zoe Lowe on the outside, senior from Bristol, Connecticut. Grad student, senior outside hitter from Japan, Sandra Sasaki. Senior middle blocker from Detroit, Michigan, Maddie Fowler. Junior middle blocker from Orange City, Florida, Morgan Word. Senior setter right side from Nina, Wisconsin, Kirsten Kraus. And at the libero position from Lakeland, Florida, grad student Caroline Chambers. We're ready for a fun-filled match. Should be a great rivalry. It's been an amazing rivalry for decades.
And you would know.
Yes, I would.
You've been here for a lot of the matchups between these two teams.
Saput puts the ball in play. Zoe with a big swing down the line. Florida Southern gets their first free ball. Zoe Lowe is just a little bit long, trying to hit those high hands.
Yeah, it's a little different rotation the Mocs are starting in tonight. I'm sure they're looking for specific matchups. My guess would be, in particular, they're trying to get the right matchup against the right side, Natalie Perez.
Schreck with her first big swing. I don't know if you noticed, but Saput is one heck of a defender.
Yeah, she actually is second on the team in digs per set behind the libero.
I saw that. Yeah.
And that's not ideal because as soon as your setter takes the first ball, you are automatically out of system. But as we all know, Tampa's a pretty good out-of-system team.
Serving pretty tough. That was a kind of a moment of indecision by Peterman.
Saput is one of the better servers for this team.
It's a good first contact. Nice swing by Morgan Word. Little one-handed set by Kirsten Kraus, showing off her setting skills.
That's one of the things she does so well. That tight ball, a lot of setters can't save it without getting in the net, but she can. I actually saw her set the pipe one time with one hand in practice.
Sandra Sasaki putting the ball in play. Natalie Perez showing why she's one of the leaders on this team attacking.
Well, notice Perez swung on the left side, and they got the little matchup against Zoe Lowe. Mocs are trying to get the matchup with Mackenzie Peterman on Perez, but you can't get everything you want.
Mm-hmm. Valley Coles with a great first contact. Zoe Lowe, the big kill on the right.
Both of these, she went from 2.5 kills last year to over 3 this year per set.
Mackenzie Peterman jumping in with a big block, solo block against Natalie Perez.
Well, that's why the Mocs were looking for that matchup. And it's not necessarily that Sandra Sasaki's not a good blocker in this situation. I just think they felt like Mackenzie Peterman might be the bigger presence. Mm-hmm. And she also might match up. They might get the better matchups offensively, too, against the two right sides.
Right. Kate Mulvaney, rare miss for her. Got Haley Dillon entering the game, serving and playing defense for Natalie Perez.
One thing you do want to watch with Haley Dillon, she does have the ability to swing from the back row. So she's going to be defending on the right side of the floor. Don't be surprised because they're in that 5-1 rotation. If the middle stays in front, they may throw her the back row set back there.
It's a nice one-on-one kill by Maddie Fowler. She did a nice job keeping the ball in front of her and just seeing the block really well. Sasaki back in as Mackenzie Peterman serves.
Yeah, it's been several years since the Spartans have run a 5-1 offense. It is a big responsibility defending the 6-2 all night long. So I think the Mocs are going to see some one-on-one situations.
It's a nice slide attack by Matt Carter. She's been coming along strong recently, right?
She has. She's been increasing her playing time and capitalizing on it. They have 3 middles. They have Rachel Gregg, Matt Carter, and Jenna Davis, who all will see playing time. But I feel like Matt Carter, as of late, has really been kind of stepping up her role. That was her in the net, though.
Yes. Caroline Chambers back to serve. Sasaki just missing wide. We will see Saput attack a few balls. Like she threw the ball over on the second contact, and I think we'll see her do that quite a bit.
She is about half a kill a set, averaging is on the offensive side of the ball.
Just long.
They said that ball grazed Caroline Chambers back there. I think both of these teams came with the intent to serve tough, and right now Tampa is really challenging the deep ball, and the serve receive hasn't been that good deciding whether they're going to play these balls or not.
Sasaki bringing it, but Matt Carter showing why she can play a little defense back there. It's a nice cut shot.
Well, and we did see that back row attack there by Haley Dillon, but that's a diggable ball for the Mocs. They capitalized on that opportunity. When you get to this point in the season, you're not going to see a lot of easy opportunities. You've got to capitalize on the ones you get.
Kirsten Krause serving for the Mocs. It's a big swing by Megan Schreck.
Yeah, the Callie Coors, who is one of, if not the most impactful weapons for the Spartans, went down in the Rollins match last weekend, late in the match, and she was replaced by Schreck. And she proceeded in a set and just a couple points in the second set to go 5 kills, no errors on 11 attempts, hit .455. So they definitely have plenty of depth on that left side position. No idea when Coors will be back, but the bottom line is, for now, I think Schreck, they're not concerned about whether she can carry that load on the left side or not.
Coach Crowder has taken a little bit of a timeout. We'll go ahead and step aside with them. Welcome back, folks. We are here on the Sunshine State Digital Network. Debbie, look at the discrepancy in the number of matches. It's amazing.
It's really, well, thank you, Hurricane Helene and Milton. The Sunshine State Conference definitely off to a bit of a rough start getting their matches in, but you can see everything from Tampa and Florida Southern, who have only played 2 matches, now playing their 3rd, all the way up to some of those teams had 5 conference matches in. So some of these programs are going to be playing catch-up over the next few weeks, and I think they're going to have to be adaptable. They're going to have to be good about missing, some class, being on the road a lot, and just be steady and be able to improve while playing without as much practice as they're accustomed to.
I know Coach Crowder would like to see the Mocs take a little bit more care of the ball and make the Spartans beat them. Right now, they're kind of beating themselves by just a lot of errors. So hopefully.
And trouble in serve receive. I mean, that's like the fourth ball now that's either grazed someone or landed in when they called it out. You can really see Tampa going at the deep part of the court and giving the Mocs a lot of trouble in serve receive.
Most times when they get a great pass, they're pretty successful. Morgan Ward with a big block, trying to change a little bit of momentum for the Mocs.
Well, and I think this is where we've watched them do it all season long. A lot of times they have to get going on the defensive side to kind of bring the offense along. They are the #1 blocking team in the league with just under 3 blocks a set. So I think if the block can get going and create some defensive opportunities, they can get the serve receive on track.
Zoe Saput did a great job of just bringing Natalie behind the setter and just kind of giving her a different look at the court and seeing a different blocker, and she took advantage of it. Megan Schreck serving. Peter missing long. Looks like she mishit that one.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about right now as far as them beating themselves. And it's, you got to give credit to Tampa. They're putting a little bit of pressure on the Mocs, but the Mocs have got to settle in. They look the rustier of the two teams right now.
Definitely. Schrenger trying to save that one. Morgan Ward's done a really nice job of just being really mobile at the net and just staying attentive. They seem like the Mocs are trying to force the middle a little bit right now when they can. They're haven't been in system enough, but seems to be part of their plan.
I think it's a good plan too. If they can get the middles going in these one-on-one situations, and again, because they're in a 6-2, they probably will see a lot of one-on-one. That's going to really open things up for the Pins. But I think forcing it right now, if it's not there, maybe they want to get a little flow before they start forcing it.
Morgan Ward with a laser of a serve.
Oh, I can tell that's so frustrating to Coach Crowder. Those are the types of things that I think the Mocs were doing earlier, the miscues, the lack of communication. That was really cleaned up the last time we saw them on this floor. Maybe a little step back in that area. They got to communicate well.
JJ Ramirez serving. Again, another great dig by Saput. Zoe Lowe just going after, a little outside of her angle of approach, which helps get a kill for her. Mary Kate Mulvaney back in for the Mocs.
Yeah, you're talking about Saput on defense. JJ Ramirez, the libero, has 4.5 digs per set, and Saput 3.26 digs per set. She's just behind her. And again, that's not always ideal. She's only back there 3 rotations. JJ is back there for 5.5 rotations.
Exactly.
That means teams are going after Saput, but, you may get them out of system, but you're probably not going to beat her much on defense.
Chambers with a great first contact. Maddie Fowler, that's great big swing.
That's good for confidence right there. And I tell you, if the Mocs can just settle in on that first ball contact, they had so many things going well offensively, starting with those types of swings. So they've just got to stay steady and serve receive, let that first ball contact come.
The Spartans are just doing such a great job of putting the ball right on Saput's head so she can make any decision she wants. In a 5-1 situation, she's got 2 attackers, but they're able to just find them in a really good situations.
Well, and when they pass her that well, as you mentioned earlier, she's a third threat, a third weapon, and you've got the back row attack with Dillon, so you really have 4 threats when she's completely in system.
Again, a nice find by Mary Kate Mulvaney. Caroline Chambers is known to get on a run or two, so hopefully she can put some pace behind the ball and get them in a out of system situation. There's a nice block by the Mocs. Morgan Word and Sasaki up. Chris Katnat calling a timeout, wants to talk with his team a little bit. Make sure he keeps this lead as much as he can. We're going to take a minute break to see some words from our sponsors. And we're back at Jenkins Field House, watching the Mocs take on the Spartans of University of Tampa. Tampa's #1 for a reason. You know, they are really efficient. One of the things when you look at their stats, you notice they attack the ball really well. They're at 15 kills per set, which is incredible. I remember in our 2017 run, we were trying to be above 14 all year. Like, that was our goal. So to be at 15, that's really high-level volleyball on the offensive side of the game. They're not blocking like they have in the past. You know, they're typically above two blocks per set, but they are doing a phenomenal job of ball controlling and attacking the ball.
And to have that number when you're running a 5-1.
Mm-hmm. Sasaki trying to use the hands, but gets blocked in bounds.
I mean, it's just typical Spartan volleyball where they're very disciplined. They run a really nice system. You know, they're not going to do a lot of crazy offensive things out here. They're going to keep it relatively simple. And they're going to keep their errors low. I say that right as we see a hitting error there. The Mocs have done a nice job, even though the Spartans, you know, are averaging over 15 kills a set. Mocs are holding them to a 190 hitting percentage, you know, and their average for the season is well above that. So, you know, I think if the Mocs can find a way to get that first ball contact going and get into a little more of an offensive rhythm themselves, they can be in this match.
Yeah, definitely.
But, you know, you said it just a minute ago. You know, Tampa kind of makes you beat yourself. They are not one to make multiple mistakes in a row. They get their server back there. They keep her back there. You have to really go and beat them.
It's a great cover by Word. Kenzie Peterman got lucky there. It's another great cover. Mocs are doing the little things, and Word comes up with a big tip to right back for a kill.
Yeah, and I don't know if everyone understands how important that cover is, because the next time that hitter takes a swing, they swing free because they know you have their back. Great extra effort there.
Sasaki putting a little pace on it. Natalie Perez just goes up, and she hits such a high contact and just hits that deep corner. It's a tough ball to defend no matter what defense you're in.
It is, and the Mocs tend to run a little bit up in the middle of the floor with their middle backs, so it does open up the deep court, and she's obviously identified that. She's going to keep attacking those deep corners.
Megan Schreck just missing. Line judge had to think about it for a minute, but she made the right call.
Well, you know, we talk about good serving errors. That's a good serving error right there. The one
right.
that she made the serve receive think about it. They've been attacking the deep part of the court the whole night, and it's been very effective. So as a coach, I would think, I know I would be okay with that error right there.
It's a great pass. Morgan Ward with the dig. Line judge is calling out, but I'm not sure how that could be.
I think the ball went outside the antenna, even though it was playable inside the court line.
It's tricky to do. And Crowder takes her last and final timeout. What do you think she's saying to him right now?
You know, if it was me, I'd be focused on, hey, you know, this one has gotten away from us a little bit, but let's try to get some momentum back going into the next set. Let's be good in side-out volleyball. You know, they haven't been particularly good in serve-receive, and that's what's created the gap. It's almost always what creates the gap, you know. And then if we, you know, let's put a good play in. Let's get side-out here, and then let's step back and let our next server stay back there for a few points and see if we can't get a little momentum going into the next set.
Yeah, it's really fun to see McKenna Wilson address the team. McKenna played for us in 2017 and 18, and then also played beach volleyball for Hiram Kime, our assistant, our current indoor assistant, started our beach volleyball program. So super fun to see an alum back, and now she's heading up our beach volleyball program as well, doing a fantastic job. But yeah, I do think that Coach Crowder wants to see a little better just mental effort out of her team. It's not really about the physical part. It's just about just being a little more engaged, a little more aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, you know, again, that may be the thing that has to kind of come back. They have to kind of work their way back into it with that much time off.
And, you know, sometimes it's who's on the other side of the net. You know, they've got to earn that respect. Like, and I'm sure Coach Crowder is talking about that. Just because they're number one, they've got to win tonight's game. They got to make them go out and earn it. Another easy ball for the Spartans. There's a huge block by Maddie Fowler and Zoe Lowe.
That's the kind of block that gets in an attacker's head a little bit. I don't care. Schranger's a great attacker, but I don't care who you are. That block right there, the next time she goes up to swing against four big hands, she's going to think about it.
Mary-Kate Mulvaney missed her first two serves, so I have to feel pretty confident this one's going in, at least deep. She went after it. It's a great pass. It's a good save by Kraus.
That tag by the block, you know, everybody loves to see those big roof blocks, but those tags are really valuable for both of these teams tonight because they are playing such good offenses. Anytime you get that slow on your side, you have to capitalize on that. It's almost like a free ball.
Yeah. Valley's done a great job on that first contact. First big swing from Peterman. Kraus with a nice high hand swing.
Now, I'm not saying that Tess Schranger is intimidated by any stretch, but she came back with a tiff after being stuff blocked on that one ball. And so there's that piece where, you know, when you're really a good blocking team, you can make attackers begin to change what they want to do a little bit. So that's a great piece that comes with good blocking. Now we need to work on good serving.
Exactly. Not a great way to finish, but I feel confident Coach Crowder will give him a little talking to. We're going to jump back into. Sorry, we're gonna head to commercial here for a second. We'll be back in a bit. Welcome back, folks. We are here on the SSC Digital Network. Mocs dropped the first set to the Spartans. It was a tough one for the Mocs. They did look like they had been off for 11 days. Or what was it, 13 days? Whatever it was.
11.
Yeah,
It's
11 days.
Yeah, they did. Defensively, they did a great job. They outblocked the Spartans 4-1. I don't think the defensive side of the ball was the problem at all. They lost serve and pass. The Spartans were just so aggressive at the service line. Their 2 errors were both close misses at the baseline. The Mocs, on the other hand, a lot of service errors in the bottom of the net. First ball contact, big difference between how much Zoe Zaput was in system and the setters for the Mocs. So, they got to clean up the serve and pass game, and I think they can be right in this match.
I agree. Looks like the Mocs went back to rotation 1, so their normal starting rotation.
It's not uncommon to spin your lineup to try to get matchups, but sometimes you need to start with what's familiar and what you're comfortable in. Mm-hmm. And, maybe that's what they need, is just to get off with their best rotation.
Mary-Kate Mulvaney back to serve to start off the Mocs.
I've been in matches, I'm sure you have too, where you spin that lineup, you get those matchups, and it pays off big time. And sometimes it's better, sometimes it doesn't pay off at all what you expected. Mm-hmm.
I love how when Natalie Perez goes up, she kind of gives it a little hang and waits till the block starts to lower. She just got a great jumper and just really good sense. Because the block was formed. She had 4 big hands, but she just took a little something off of it to kind of recycle the ball. But Mocs got a nice swing, transition swing.
That's two in a row where the Mocs put a little bit of pressure and had Zoe Saput down to one option. She kicks the ball out to the outside, and they've scored on both. One, they slowed the ball and transitioned on that. The second with a block. So that's what the Mocs have to do. They have to create more pressure at the service line.
Oh, that's a great up by Chambers. Just couldn't get it high enough.
Yeah, we talked about looking at these two offenses and if they're both in system, what a treat it'll be. You're actually looking at 2 of, if not the 2 best liberos in the league, in J.J. Ramirez and Caroline Chambers. Last year, J.J. Ramirez was the Defensive Player of the Year, 3rd-team All-American. You can see her right there. Look at what a great ball she's putting up, bump setting the ball. Then Caroline Chambers, last week, in their wins against Rollins and Embry-Riddle, she had an outstanding, I think she averaged close to 6 digs a set for the weekend. She also had almost 7.7 aces a set. So, you're looking at 2 liberos who make a big difference in their programs.
Mackenzie Peterman putting a little pace. Great dig by Mulvaney. Sasaki takes a high rip at it. Again, another dig by J.J. Ramirez, but they haven't go under the net as she went to retrieve that ball. Saput did.
This is the response you wanted to see from the Mocs.
Exactly.
They're actually applying a little pressure. The Spartans may be number 1 in the country, but every team, if you can apply pressure, you're going to find out where the weaknesses are.
J.J. Ramirez back to serve. Oh, short serve, got a free ball back. And a kill by Perez, just snuck inside that block.
There's a flip side, a good example of a nice serve that created an opportunity and then capitalizing on it. I think a lot of people look at just service aces and service errors, and serving can create opportunities that are earned later in the rally,
Again, great first contact by Sasaki, and Kraus goes up and gets a high hands kill.
And we've talked about the block for the Mocs being big. Other than Saput, really, this is also a big, very disciplined blocking team. So those high hand swings, the tool shots, they're going to be very important for the Mocs tonight.
I've just been so impressed at Tampa's passing. Their serve receive has just been on point for the most part. I mean, no matter, like, they're putting a little pressure on, and they've just keep the ball in front of them, do a really good job angling their platforms and getting the ball to target often.
Yeah, sometimes we feel like a broken record talking about serve and pass. I mean, but ultimately it doesn't matter if you're at the junior high level or you're on the Olympic team. All coaches will tell you it boils down to serve and pass, and the team that does the best job of that is more than likely going to win the match.
It's a good swing by Sasaki. Zoe Lowe back in for the Mocs. Talk a little bit about Kirsten Kraus, the type of player she is. I mean, it's very rare that you find a player that can do everything so well. Like, she's a great defender, but she's a phenomenal setter and attacker. She was second team all-conference last year for the Mocs. You just don't typically find that type of athlete in your gym. And she came to Florida Southern from Wright State. She talked about it a couple weeks ago in her interview that kind of gave her a second chance, right? Like a second chance at loving the game. And so often that happens when student athletes go and don't have the perfect experience and they transfer to a new location and fall in love with the sport again. And it's been a really fun to watch her grow as a student athlete here at Florida Southern. Connor Ron entering the match as a freshman out of Orange Park, Florida. It's a good block. Zoe Lowe with a big kill. Chris Katnack's going to call a timeout, try to settle his team a little bit. I'm sure right now it's a little different without having Callie Kors to just throw the ball up and get a big swing. You know, put it in a freshman. So it's kind of trying to settle his team a little bit, but the Mocs are doing a great job putting some pressure on him.
Yeah, they've done a very nice job of responding after that first set. I know they're not pleased at all in the way that they played, but you have to let it go and on to the next, and I think they've done a great job. And, you know, you mentioned Callie Kors. She's definitely, I don't know a lot about the leadership of their team, but she's definitely one of their go-to players and someone that can put the team on her back and go. So, you know, you're finding out right now with her off the court who else can step up. And I think that Coach Katnack, he's been around a long time. He knows that this is the time right now to call the timeout, settle the team down. Don't let this thing get any further away, especially on your opponent's home floor. But yeah, he's got the talent out there. They just got to settle in. Again, a little bit of pressure and serve receive can make any team less offensive.
Mm-hmm. And you talk about the home floor advantage. I think the rivalry is super strong, but the Spartans have a 58 to 80 all-time record. But in this gym at Jenkins Fieldhouse, it's 32 to 32. So it's a different game when the Spartans and the Mocs play at
But don't you
Florida
think the entire league is kind of that way? I mean, it feels like to me in this league, and it is definitely one of the most competitive leagues in the country, that you've got to win your matches at home because it's so hard to win on the road. And if you can go and sneak a few on the road, you got a chance to, be top of the league.
I agree. Kirsten Kraus trying to stay on this run. That was a great decision by Saput. She just had the middle hold, jumped, so she got a one-on-one out on the outside for Ron. And Ron went up and got a great kill, put it away. Kinsey with a kill off the hands, off the back row attack.
One of the things you're seeing the Mocs do is respond very quickly in serve receive. You know, they've been last set. A lot of times the Spartans were able to run off multiple points when they were serving. They've been siding out at a very high rate in this set here.
Yes, they have.
Specifically, they've been they're siding out at 65%. You know, that's, I think, typically around that range is what teams are striving for. The Spartans are siding out at 70%. So, you know, that's how you limit your opponent's runs. And then you're responsible for scoring some points on serve.
And I think the Mocs want to get Mackenzie Peterman going a little bit. That was just her first kill. Maybe put her in a couple of better situations.
Yeah, I agree. If you're not in rhythm, it's really hard to find it. You know, as a left side, you get a lot of the junk balls, but those are hard balls to find your rhythm. So I think if the setters can, in system, use her a little bit more, that'll help her get on track.
Yeah, Zoe Saput just got her first kill on a setter dump. Mocs got a little lucky.
Spartans were looking for a touch there, and I'm not sure.
I didn't see it.
What they thought they saw, but.
Morgan Word serving.
What a tough out-of-system swing there. I mean, bump set from 22 feet back, and to take it and take that aggressive of a swing.
Mm-hmm. It's a great response by Maddie Fowler. Talk about getting some great experience as a freshman. Bally Coles, just, you know, she takes advantage of every opportunity she gets. She's been playing defensive specialist, back row for Sasaki, and, you know, I think what Coach Crowder loves about her is she's dynamic. Like, she's passing really well, but then she's going after it, being really vocal in the back row.
Yeah, and she's an athlete. As she got caught charging up there on that one. And again, the Spartans are looking for the deep part of the court, so the Mocs have got to stay disciplined there. But she's just an athlete, you know, got an athletic family, athletic background. So, you know, I think that she's a natural out there. She can swing and hit the back row attack, too, the pipe. So I think that's what they like about having her back there. Improves the ball control, can still take the swing. And, yeah, what great quality minutes for a freshman. Mm-hmm.
Mackenzie Peterman back to serve. Serves a great one. Mulvaney digs it up. Kraus.
Wow, she just unloaded on that one.
She did.
Yeah, that's what's kind of special about Kraus. You know, you talked about how versatile she is, but she knows when to take the smart shot, and she knows when to let it rip. And when she does, it's fun.
Mm-hmm. No, it's another error by the Spartans. What a discipline action by, you could tell Maddie Fowler wanted to jump and hit that, but she knew she was a back row setter. She stayed on the ground, waited for a middle, and got a good result out of it. Mocs are really putting some pressure on the Spartans behind the service line.
Gosh, again, these two left sides, that was Khan. Just taking big rips on these out-of-system sets. I mean, they're making it look easy, and it's just not.
Like it, the baseball team is in the house. Got the whole team watching the Mocs play tonight. They're on fall break here training. Little one-handed set. Sasaki keeps it in play. Great dig by Chambers. give Natalie Perez too many opportunities. She's just so efficient.
You took the words right out of my mouth. You know, when they dug her the first time, they needed to put that ball away because the second swing, she wasn't giving you another chance.
Mocs need a great first contact so they can side out this rotation. A great little short serve by J.J. Ramirez. She came in there with a little fire, didn't she?
She did. And they've been having her serve that short ball.
Coach Crowder takes timeout. They're going to call a timeout. We'll step aside with them. All right, we're back in the Jenkins Fieldhouse watching the Mocs and the Spartans battle it out. Mocs lost the first set, but they're up 16-13 in the second. In other SSC play, the Mocs are competing against the Tampa Spartans in women's soccer, and the score is 1-1. And the men's soccer team is beating the Spartans 1-0 at Florida Southern with 4 minutes to go in the first half.
Another swing by Conneron. She just missed the high hands. I don't believe, Jill, that she's played that much left side this year. She's in right now for Tess Schranger. She's been going in and doing some serving. But they obviously have been preparing her for this opportunity because we're seeing her take very aggressive swings. She does not look intimidated out there.
She does not. Well, it's interesting because we haven't seen it much, but you're allowed to have 2 liberos, 2 players in the libero jersey, and you can use 2 in a match. And so Conneron has been wearing the libero jersey, but just going into serve for 1 player. And so she's getting valuable minutes on the court, but you're right. Like this, she's doing a great job.
Much bigger role right now.
Yeah, playing 6 rotations and being a great attacker.
And you have a little connection to Conneron.
Yeah, Middleburg High School, one of my great friends, Carrie Pruitt, who is in the house tonight. She was the coach at Middleburg High School and coached Conneron. Connor won a state championship last year before becoming a Spartan, so it's fun to see her in the gym tonight.
That was just the second block for the Spartans. Mocs still out blocking them 5-2.
Mocs are doing a little better job with those tight balls, the ones that go long, just being really, more mindful of when they're watching that ball to the line and just more engaged all around this set. I think the danger of serving a short ball that doesn't go short is that it ends up being a really easy a really easy serve that turns into a fast kill.
Yep. And they run a much faster middle attack than the Mocs do, so they've got to anticipate that, be up quick.
Zoe Lowe taking a big swing. Easy free ball, and Kirsten Kraus flip dumps that over, gets a nice kill.
She's really doing it all tonight. It's almost like you were talking about her. No, but she does night in and night out. I think, we talk about it being a 6-2, but because she's playing the 6 rotations, they retain a lot of subs because they're not double subbing the setters and right sides, so they can use them and they can use subs situationally. But Kirsten just makes such an impact on the offense and defensive side. Great defender. She and Mary Kay Mullaney are both very good back row defenders as well.
Anna Rivera comes in as a DS for the Spartans. She's from Puerto Rico, sophomore DS. Kenzie Peterman tips it over. Another big block by Morgan Word, Zoe Lowe. Zoe Lowe's doing a great job of just setting up that block so that Morgan, all she has to do is close, get her hands over. We're just doing all the little things tonight. You know, she's covering, she's getting a kill every once in a while, and just serving
tough.
Aggressive, gets an ace.
Served right at Dylan. She's actually out of the serve receive. She's just standing back there to call in or out. She almost hit her.
Oops.
Yeah, that's an interesting point because I think that is one of the ways you get yourself back into flow after such a long period of time off is by doing all the little things, the details, the communication, the cover, all the little extra things that sometimes get skipped, but that's how you get yourself back into a flow.
Absolutely. And as you watch Coach Crowder, you can tell she's constantly trying to figure out, like, what do we do? What are those little things, and how do we communicate? And I'll tell you what, I've played I played a lot of matches against Chris Katnack, and there's nobody better when it comes to strategizing and just beating Tampa because of their strategy is always really difficult. They're just always on top of their game, and
and they're always super athletic,
yeah.
so they're able to execute that scheme at such a high level.
And Brian Imperial has been with him with the Spartans for, I think 6 or 7 years. Could be 8 or 9. I'm not sure. But he does a great job too. I know Chris has given up a lot of the reins to Brian, and so he's doing a lot of the tactical things and really doing a nice job for the Spartans.
Peterman got away with that one there because she really wasn't quite ready for that. I think that's one of the things the Mocs have been exceptional about this year is when their serving creates an overpass, they're ready, and they put those balls away like 90% of the time. But again, that's something created by aggressive serving. So Mocs have really picked it up at the baseline.
Mm-hmm. Morgan Ward keeps the pressure on. Front row setter, Saput goes up there and just throws it. She likes that little throw right behind her to zone 4.
Well, that was a tight ball, and she kind of gave it away. I think they maybe could have gotten on that with the front line, but.
Another great pass, one-handed set by Kraus. Mocs get a free ball, put it on the money. Great dig by Saput. Unfortunately, that was a free ball that just wasn't taken care of.
Well, and you're not getting many free balls from the Spartans, so.
When you do, you got to take advantage, especially when it's 22-18.
Yeah, it's got to be a 3-option first contact.
Another good pass. Zoe Lowe gets a tip on the block. Kraus picks up that tip. Chambers gets to the set. Zoe gets a big kill.
Both teams really going after the setters, so it was going to be an out-of-system war, see who could put the ball away.
Mary-Kate Mulvaney back in to serve and set for the Mocs. Krause's shoes are untied. Way to be alert. Joya Teeter, our head official. It's a tough set. It's a great job by Schreck getting to that ball. It's a little tight, but she just got her feet there and threw it over and scored.
Yeah, in the middle of the floor. That's going to be, you know, on a perimeter defense, that's always going to be open.
Mox did a great first contact here. They got it, and a nice kill.
Right choice by Mackenzie Peterman, taking that ball with her hands, put it right on top of the setter, and then, you know, you get Madison Fowler in those situations, she's going to be terminal.
Yeah, she's doing a phenomenal job of just staying behind the ball. She had been overrunning it a little bit the last few matches, but
well, and I think the setters are doing a good job of leading her too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Fowler right now is leading all attackers for the Mocs with 7 kills, no errors, hitting .778. So you know they want to keep feeding her, and I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see, even though they're in a 6-2, if you don't see Tampa try to start maybe getting 2 up on her, slow her down a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Mocs need to expect the short ball. JJ went long this time. Wow, nice fast arm by Ron.
Yeah.
She's got that real natural fold cross body shot down the line.
Yeah, right now these are not the 2 outside hitters who have been the starting outside hitters for most of the season. We have Tess Schranger and Callie Kors off the floor right now, and these 2 are doing a great job.
It's a good dig. They stay deep. Maddie Fowler had a little attacking error. Coach Crowder at 23-24. Calling a timeout, wants to talk a little bit. We'll take a break in action, and we'll see you here in a sec. And we're back on the Sunshine State Digital Network. The Mocs trying to close out the second set. They're up 24-23. I'm sure Coach Crowder was giving them a little advice on how to side out in this rotation. All they need is the side out to win this set. Spartans get a dig. Nice dig by Chambers. And there it is. Sasaki comes up with a huge kill to win that set 2, 25-23. Mocs tie it up, 1-1. That was a little better.
Well, I mean, you and I were just talking about before during the timeout that the Mocs, were hitting 275. Now they finished the set hitting 289. I mean, that's a very impressive team hitting efficiency. So, but that's what it takes. That's what they're going to have to do, and they're going to have to continue on the defensive side as well.
Yeah, especially against a defensive-minded team like University of Tampa. All right, we'll take a break, and we'll be back in a couple minutes after some sponsors give us a word.
set for Emporia. You know, and the Mocs don't want her to be in that situation. They don't want anybody on this team to be carrying that heavy of a load. They want to spread offense, you know,
Absolutely.
but you just can see her comfort level growing with every time they get on the court together.
And sometimes that's really tough when you're used to getting set, you know, 30, 40, 50 times a match, and all of a sudden you only get, you know, 20 to 25. It's a different feeling. You're not always as prepared, and Mocs are working hard. Zoe Lowe into the bench, trying to pick up that ball.
Yeah, that's a great point. But I do think for her, it's just been getting more comfortable.
Yeah, and you can tell when she's smiling, that's when you can tell she's becoming more comfortable, she's having a little more success. And it's a great block by their little setter, Saput.
Yeah, she is the smallest front row player for this team, but she tags a lot of balls. She doesn't block that many outright, but she touches a lot of balls. And she's just, a lot of setters are that way. They're just very instinctive up there about their timing.
And that's a great one-on-one block by Matt Carter. She just jumped in there and took away the space quickly. Natalie Perez serving this match. Mocs hitting it long. Zoe just missed high hands. It's 11-7. Coach Crowder's asking for a timeout. Good time to settle her team a little bit. And we will take a minute to take a break. We'll be right back. All right, well, we're really back now. You should be able to hear us. Our producer forgot to unmute us, so hopefully you can hear us now. It's 11-7.
Just think of all the comments that we can make again.
I know.
Like they're brand new.
Exactly.
I think we sounded more intelligent in that last 15 minutes.
It was
12 minutes.
It was my best 11.
Your best work.
18 points, yep. Zoe Lowe throwing it over. Woo! That's a big swing.
This has been a tough out for Zoe Lowe in this rotation. Mocs really need to find a way to get the ball up on the net. Try to use just a different option and get out of this rotation. But it's all about that first contact.
And there's the flip dump by Kraus. That's one way to get out of it.
She does such a nice job. You know, because she is a back row setter, she's got to stay below the net, but she can still leave the ground, and she disguises it as well as anyone, that little flip dump.
Sasaki back to serve. Oh. I think the Mocs would have liked to take care of that one a little better, but coach is asking for a double contact.
You know, they went after Connor Ron in serve receive on that last one. I think that's a good tactic. You know, you've got a freshman out there. If you put a heavy load on her right now, making her pass and hit, I think that could be effective.
Yeah, and the Mocs need to get Mackenzie Peterman going. That was a huge swing for her, giving her a little confidence. Ron just misses the line.
I mean, on any front row attacker, when they have to do 2 of the 3 attacks, you've overloaded them a little bit. But, you know, it's always good to test a freshman.
And they take her out of serve receive. They must have heard you. It's a great serve by Sasaki. Again, Shrek hasn't played as much, right? So like just doesn't have the same opportunities that some of the other players have had. So staying on her is a good idea. It's an error by Ron.
Well, we're starting to see some errors from the Spartans that we weren't seeing earlier, and it is some of the younger players, but it also, I think, is the Mocs putting, again, some of that pressure from the service line.
Yeah, it's just a game of runs, right? Yeah. And I think the more you can limit those runs, so if you side out quickly, and that's what our side out percentage is all about. And
Mocs are at 55 for the match, but they've got the Spartans down to 61. They were at 70% earlier.
Yeah,
so that's a sign of the better serving and a little more struggle in serve receive.
Yep. We'll take a break here. Be back in a jiffy.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons. We live for this.
Welcome back to Mocs volleyball action versus the Spartans of the University of Tampa. It's 12-12. It's a barn burner. It's a game of runs like we've talked about, and Sasaki is really working hard to continue this run.
She's created a lot of trouble for the Spartan serve receive. They've adjusted a couple different times. I think this is her fourth or fifth serve now.
Yep, Anna Rivera in to try to stop that. Ron with a good pass. Carter hits that deep shot. Well, that's a great run for them. Shrek back in. Sometimes you just put in, they put in Anna Rivera. She didn't even pass the ball, but they did enough just to get a different look and be able to get a side out. Back comes Shrek. Nice scrappy play.
Great shot right there. The Mocs, as the Spartans are, they're both in perimeter defense, and so you're giving up the corners. But she had to hit that shot so well to the area one. It's just a beautifully placed ball.
Mocs want to get a quick side out here and Valley just kind of mistimed that.
Yeah, and I don't know right now. I think I'd be looking to give the ball to, you got Peterman out there. I know we've talked about trying to get her on track and get her in good situations, but that's who I'd be giving the ball to right now if you're not able to give it to the middles or Zoe Lowe, the right side.
Again, another swing from Zoe. I think she has the most success, as most attackers do, when she goes up and shows one angle and just drops her thumb a little bit or drops her pinky and hits a different shot rather than right in the angle of her approach.
And I think she does it better on the right than the left.
I do too. Morgan Ward with a tough serve. Coles has it up. Peterman puts it over. She calls a touch on the block. Maddie Fowler says, yep, that was me. Matt Carter back to serve. She's done a really nice job too. Getting on a couple runs, tough server. Free ball to the Spartans. the Mocs really thrive when they can get a big block like that. So hopefully the
Absolutely.
momentum.
And I was just about to say, the serve receive is kind of broken down again, and leave it to the defense to, give them some momentum to try to chip away and get back to even here.
Mulvaney back to serve. Little miss hit.
I thought it caught hands.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, just because of the way the direction change.
Oh, and the ace by Mulvaney with a little jump kick celebration.
I was wondering if we weren't going to see Tess Schranger come back
Yeah.
in. She wasn't that successful early. She's a big piece of this offense, but she had 3 kills, 3 errors. She was hitting 0, when they went ahead and went to Connor Ron. But, at some point you probably need her leadership and experience out there to just kind of settle things down.
Ron with a great pass. And Schranger comes back and gets a kill.
Maybe they just needed to get her really ticked off on the sideline.
That's right. Natalie Perez has 13 kills. She's been a little bit quiet for 13.
Yeah.
You don't really notice it as much. Sometimes she's just a phenomenal athlete and can do some really nice things.
Well, I think you have to credit the Mocs block a little bit. I mean, I think they're making these hitters get creative. You haven't seen too many times where they've been able to just take a huge rip through a seam or, get those one-on-one situations. You just haven't seen too much of it.
It's a good save. I'm sure Crowder would like to see them do something a little different with that ball. Crowder calls a timeout. It's 19-16 for the Spartans. I mean, I think one of the biggest things is when the Mocs break down and serve receive, you can see their platform. You can see their posture. It just breaks down. Some of it is just attention to detail and just holding their platform for a 2 count, or you know what I mean, something to get them back into some type of rhythm of that first contact.
But boy, I tell you, the difference as you talked about the momentum swings, I feel like to the run, it has been about breaking down and serve receive. So you can give some credit to the serving, but I mean, when the Spartans break down and serve receive, they just aren't very good. And when the Mocs have broken down and serve receive, they're not very good. And when they're getting at least 2 option passing, they're pretty good. So it might just be which team can be the steadiest through the rest of this match. I think it was a really smart sub. I think Chris Katnack would have liked to have seen his young players, take it to the end, but he put Tess Schranger out there, and all of a sudden they ran off, 2-3 points. That's just that leadership and experience piece.
Yeah, sometimes you just need a little breather and get back in there and reset. It's a great serve by Saput. She's just putting pressure on him.
It's interesting that she serves from the left side of the floor. She's got to go play defense on the right side of the floor.
Yeah, she moves around depending on where she's serving.
But I mean, that's something that if you're really in system, you might be able to go after a little bit.
(21-16) to the Spartans. They switch it up, move Mackenzie Peterman to the left side of the floor. So now everybody's stacked on the left. All 3 front row attackers are, and you see.
You mentioned the attention to detail. They're just not focusing on the pass first.
And Mackenzie Peterman, that has been her strength this season.
Yes.
She's been the rock of this serve receive. So I'm sure she'll bounce back.
But I think there are probably 2 things that without daily reps deteriorate the quickest. One is for the setter's location, and the setter's being in rhythm, and the other, I think, is your passing. I think hitters can get out and take a few swings, blocking, but I think that serve receive and your setters, they just need reps almost every day.
Sasaki with a kill off the block.
That's 7 kills for her. She's come up with some big ones at critical times, too. She's only hitting 042, but I feel like she's been impactful in a way that has been bigger than that number.
That's the kind of swings I remember from Natalie Perez. A little more, little dynamic, but she's just taking what Florida Southern is giving her. When she gets an open net, it's pretty dynamic and fun.
She's going to make sure that ball's not coming back.
Schrenger's back to serve. Tough one for Peterman.
Well, it's just been a complete implosion in serve receive.
Good cover by the Mocs. Great dig by JJ Ramirez. And again, another high swing by Perez. Spartans take that one 25-18. They're up 2-1 in this match of a huge rivalry match.
I think it was like 16-15 or something like in the mid-teens. It was close. And it just maybe the Spartans picked it up a little bit at the service line, but it looked like to me the Mocs just stopped tracking the ball well, stopped getting behind the ball, got a little tentative. But it was all about not being able to get a good first contact. You can look at all the other stats that come out of that, or lack of stats that come out of that, but to me it was lack of first ball contact.
I agree. Well, stay tuned. We'll be right back with more action after a short break. Welcome back. It is Sunshine State Conference Volleyball at its best. The Spartans are up 2-1. The Mocs are fighting their way back in, trying to figure out how to win this set so they can push it to a set 5 and make it just a great match. So what do you think they need to do in order to push this match to the set?
One of the beautiful things about this sport is it doesn't matter whether you lost that set 25-23 or 25-18. The bottom line is it's 2-1, and you've got to get to 25 quickest in this next set if you're the Mocs, and level the playing field to a 15-point fifth set. I thought their response after the first set, they played kind of poorly, especially at the end of the first set. I think their response in the second set was tremendous. They've got to do that again right here. And, I mean, they've got to get better with that first ball contact. They've got to – I thought they served still pretty tough through that set, but they just kind of imploded in serve-receive. And so whether it's communication, just taking care of some of the details or whatever, they got to let that one go and be a better team in serve-receive.
Yeah, Debbie, that's such a great point. I think this is one of the only games where your stats can be so lopsided because you could win a tight set, lose badly, win a tight set, lose badly, and then go to 5, and the stats could not really exemplify who should have won the match. And that's one of the most frustrating things as a head coach. But the bottom line is you got to get to set 5.
Yeah.
Right? So.
And they've got a lot of work to do.
Yes.
And it does look like they're going to. Oh, it looks like maybe they made a mistake in the lineup. I was wondering if they would go back, with Tess Schrenger to start the 4th set. Looked like there may have been some kind of a mistake in the lineup submitted, but either way.
Oh, here we have a live look in at our men's soccer team. Up 1-0 on the receiving votes team of the University of Tampa Spartans. They're a great men's soccer program, so this would be a huge, huge upset for the Mocs. We've never seen Chris Katnack put in a bad line or incorrect line.
Never have I ever.
Only in the national championship semifinal against Washburn, and they won the set because Washburn was so confused about trying to figure out what their lineup was that it confused them more than anything. Nice dig by Chambers. Mackenzie Peterman sending that wide.
She has just not been her best self.
No.
I tell you who's been good, though, is Caroline Chambers. She just picked up right where she left off. She's touched a lot of balls. She's dug a lot of balls in system. She also is just getting better and better as she spends more time in the jersey.
Out of rotation. Goodness gracious.
With the serve.
It's one of my least liked calls. Especially for a coach. It just means a lack of attention to what they're doing on the court. Mm-hmm. So hopefully the Mocs can bounce back.
I think that's the first missed serve for Ramirez, who has consistently gone after the short serve to disrupt, I think, the middles. Mm-hmm. Finally went too short with it. Boy, Perez, that's her 16th kill.
Yeah.
Just hitting just under 400.
Yeah, Mocs haven't had much of an answer for her.
No. She doesn't even play back row. She serves, and then she'll come off. She's got a couple digs, one block. But she does so much for this team in 3 rotations on the front row. It's hard to even measure it. I mean, and you talk about how they have all these other great weapons. But if you don't find a way to just slow her down a little bit, you're not going to stop her. But if you can't find a way to slow her down, it's going to be hard to beat the Spartans.
Again, the Spartans start out very efficient from serve receive. It's a really nice swing by Carter, just going up and seeing the block and hitting off the hands on a tight set.
And she's athletic enough to be able to do that without getting in the net.
Connor Ron back to serve. She's been doing this a lot for him all year. but getting some great opportunities as an attacker as well, and she's done a phenomenal job. Ward just misses on that sideline. It's a great pass by Chambers. Going back to Word. The Spartans are in the system and get a kill. I think that's what the Spartans do so well is they dig, not just dig balls, but they dig to right to their setter's forehead so they can run anything they want to run.
Well, and that's why we stopped, talking about how good the quality of the passing is. It's the first contact. It doesn't matter if it's in serve receive or it's a dig. Really good teams are focused on that first contact regardless of the phase of the game.
Absolutely.
And the great teams are getting those 2 and 3 option balls when they dig, even the hard-driven balls.
Sasaki made a nice run last match, or last set. Carter just squeaks it through.
That's a quick slide, too. If you're not out there almost waiting on it, it's hard to get up in time. This is why they're so lethal in system. It's like there's, where do you stop the bleeding? You stop the bleeding at the service line. You do things to get them out of system. You put the first ball on the setter. Any way you can to take the fastest part of their system away.
Zoe Lowe with a great swing. Krause did a great job just spreading the offense. I like that a lot.
She did, and I like that tempo, too, getting it out there quick to Zoe.
Yeah, she can speed up. Some people have, generic approaches where it's tough to, but Zoe can really speed up to that ball. Nice serve by Word. Just missed. Another great serve. Big attack.
Got the touch. Connor on, I think, touched it as it was going out of bounds, or at least that's the call.
Chris Katnack a little frustrated. I don't think he saw that. Morgan Ward responds with another great serve. Easy tip ball. Mackenzie Peterman. That's a great swing.
Morgan Word is showing you why you don't measure service errors and service aces. She's only had 1 ace coming into this set and no errors, but she has had the Spartans out of system a lot. She's put together nice strings of points and created opportunities for her team. Serving tough, that's just a 2-option ball, maybe 1-option ball there. She's done that all night. Ironically, middles a lot of times aren't great servers, but Morgan actually is one of the better servers and can be pretty consistent for this team.
Mackenzie Peterman doing a much better job in service this set. Good touch on the block. Zoe being alert, getting up and attacking that ball down. Mary-Kate Mulvaney coming in.
I think that's one of Zoe's strengths. You don't find her disengaged very often. She's just looking for those kinds of opportunities to capitalize.
She's a competitor.
Yes, she is.
She does not like to lose. She's gets very excited. Pretty emotional player and brings a lot of energy to the team. Great tip down the line for Mackenzie Peterman, finding an open spot. She's doing a lot of little things well, like that off the block. I know she's worked really hard in that, just off-ball defense. When ball is set to the other outside, she comes off and picks that ball up and puts it right on the setter's head so she can run whatever she needs to, and then throwing the ball to the line.
Well, it's an example of, she probably would be the first one to tell you she's not in her offensive rhythm tonight. She's not, it hasn't been her best offensive night, but she's finding other ways to contribute.
There's another one.
And you know what? How many times have you watched this, Jill, where like a person's struggling, where they just keep finding ways to help the team, and then eventually they work out of that?
Right.
It's like, telling a shooter to keep shooting in basketball. Now she's taking the swings we're used to seeing. It'd be great if she was hot for the rest of this match.
Another big region win over West Florida. Mox went 5 with them, and I think she had 5 kills in the 5th set. Like just a ginormous, huge 5th set after not
and
playing.
quiet early, yeah. Yeah, I remember that. But sometimes that's why you teach athletes, just keep contributing every way you can to the team until you find your rhythm. You sometimes can work out of it.
Schranger back to serve. It's a great swing.
Just a great, they were moderately out of system, so tough to see that block. But what a great shot. Kirsten's been really good tonight.
She has. Just long.
Yeah, I know Mackenzie's been a little high air tonight serving, but that one I can live with because you could tell the serve receive thought about it. So much better air than the ones in the net early.
Fowler and Sasaki ready for this serve. Take care of it well. Spartans get a free ball. Natalie kills it.
Well, I tell you, that was close.
It was.
I mean, we're too far away to be sure, but it looked like there was a little space between the ball and the line from here.
Did you notice J.J. Ramirez just run through that tip? You don't see that happen too often. I mean, that tip was at the 2-3 foot line, and she just, that was a really nice read and just to stay on her feet.
She's very undersized, but she makes up with it. Her speed is incredible. And she reads well, and she's just very dynamic. But, sometimes you want a libero with a little more length.
Yeah.
Because it compensates, you can cover more floor, but you don't ever have to wonder whether she can cover a lot of floor.
What is she listed at?
I think 5'1".
It says 5'2".
Oh, they gave her 5'2".
Generous.
I do too. I think I might have her by an inch.
Do you think Florida Southern's going to be working on short serves this week?
I don't know that I've ever seen anybody come after them this aggressively short.
Especially when you're in a essentially two-person serve receive. Those wings really have to take care of the ball.
Well, it's created a lot of trouble.
Yes, it has. Ron with another nice swing. Kenzie Peterman, backcourt attack, just long. R1 went and talked to Kraus. Probably a little frustrated that all the players are asking for a touch, but
yeah. I mean, I think it's always good to just give a little warning.
Might be a good time for a timeout.
Keep the court under control. I agree.
Somehow you gotta. It's a really easy serve. Somehow you got to be able to pass this ball well. There's a kill. Chambers back to serve. We haven't seen many runs from her. Hopefully she can get on a little.
Yeah, she's probably one of the steadiest servers who can, create some havoc.
So I don't blame Sasaki for not jumping on that. It looked like it was going to come over, and it looked like Perez was going to come over the line, and I think for her safety, that's probably why she didn't jump. But
Absolutely.
she definitely could have blocked that ball if she would have been up.
I don't know how Perez stayed out of the net.
I don't either. Athleticism.
Mm-hmm.
Good cover. That's one of the most maddening things is when a little setter beats out a middle blocker. It's one of the toughest things.
But I tell you, isn't it to the setter that it's timing, that they know to be up last. They just seem to win those battles more than they should.
Every single time. Every single time. Well, we will take a quick break as the Mocs Ashley Crowder tries to talk to her team and give them a little advice on how to get out of this little run. Welcome back. We are here at Jenkins Fieldhouse. 16-13, the Spartans are up in the fourth set. Mocs are doing anything they can to create some havoc and be able to get back into this set so they can make it to the fifth set.
Okay, so the Spartans have put Haley Dillon. We saw her earlier in the match in right back, playing a defensive specialist role. She's just come in as the right side attacker now for the Spartans.
Going to the 6-2. Try to get a bigger block up against these. Kayla Dondero is in. Setting for the Spartans. Freshman from Highlands Ranch, Colorado. So again, this is one of those tactical measures where Chris Katnack's putting in a bigger right side block, going to the 6-2 to try to earn some points. Pretty good server, getting them out of system, and they earn a free ball out of it. So far, it's worked well for them.
They've done this a few times throughout the year because Kayla Dondero does have some stats. I mean, they're heavily lopsided to Saput, but she does have, I think, 35 assists through the season. So they're comfortable flashing into this 6-2.
She's a good server. Yeah, this has been a really good play for the Spartans. Ashley Crowder calls a timeout. Again, it just comes back to being able to pass well so that they can, and then just fight through those situations when you do give them an easy ball, being able to just fight and battle through a point. But if you don't get a good swing on that first contact, it's really tough in this league.
Yeah, and especially against this #1 team in the country.
Even a little disadvantage. I mean, it's a smart play to go in and put in a little bigger lineup, take a risk. You can always go back to the 5-1.
Well, you said it earlier. I think that, Chris Katnack, this is his 41st season. He's got 1,211 wins.
Just entered the ABCA Hall of Fame.
Yes, so, you're not talking about someone who's new to the game. He's seen it all. He has become probably one of the greatest tacticians, especially in Division II. But I'd put him up against, sometimes I think the tactical side of it is almost greater in Division II. But, I think that's what you're watching right now is, he's just even pulling more and more rabbits out of the hat to throw more things at this Mocs team. And this is what has given him the kind of success he's had through his 41 years.
And honestly, that makes everybody in this league better. He made me better for many years because there were many a times at the end of the match. I'll never forget one time he subbed in 4 players in a 5th set in order to win the set. And after the match he won, he beat me because he got the right matchup because he subbed in 4 players and he apologized. And I said, I was not very happy.
Yeah.
But,
he must just sit at home and think of all the creative things he can do tactically.
Exactly.
I mean, he really is a wizard.
This was definitely Mocs are just imploding a little bit, making errors. And
well, that's the disappointing part, I think, if there is, you want to see them fight. They battled in that second set. They've battled at other times throughout this match. But the last set, they kind of let go in the mid-teens. And this set, they've kind of let go in the mid-teens. And, regardless of the outcome right now, you'd like to see them really battle.
Absolutely. They're just not doing any. They're not giving us any. And that's what great teams do.
Well, I think that's what separates Tampa. This is a team that was in the Division II championships last year, lost in the semifinal round, but they've won 4 national championships. They've played for 4 other national championships, and a lot of that has been in just the last 20 years. I think that they just don't give you anything, and so they make you beat them. And I think at times the Mocs have been up to that challenge tonight, and at other times they haven't.
And when they don't have a good, a great swing where they can go up and kill it, they just tip it and get it back. And unfortunately, if you don't get in a better situation, they're going to find a way to beat you. Until Morgan Word puts a nice big solo block up and earns the point.
I think that's one of the best things the Mocs have done tonight. When you're really behind in the rally, they found ways to win some points on the block.
Valley Cole is coming in for Sasaki.
We talked about side out percentage earlier, Jill, and like the Spartans were after the first set, maybe even after the second set, they were at 70%. They're still only at 61% side out, but the Mocs have dropped under 50% now.
Yeah. You're not going to win too many matches.
Yeah, it's the tail of the match, I think. I think it's the most important stat.
The Mocs have had some success with Word back at behind the end line, so we'll see if she can create magic again. It's a great set and swing by Jenna Davis. Coming in as a backup setter, she did a really nice job. She ran, like a 5-point run? Did her job really well.
Yeah, you've seen the depth. You've seen the depth of this Tampa Spartan team because they've played 12, 13 people.
Zoe Lowe with a big kill. They got the work cut out for him though. Mary Kate Mulvaney back to serve. And that's a wrap. The Spartans showed why they are undefeated and #1 in the country
Yeah, they really did crank it up a notch after that second set. I still thought the Mocs were competitive in the third set. But, boy, I tell you, you get into the teens with the Spartans, and they just pull away.
Yeah. I do think Coach Crowder will be talking to them a little bit about their energy and you have to be resilient in those moments when you're not playing your best, but you still have to, figure it out and find ways to be successful in different ways. And I don't think they problem solve very well in some situations,
Yeah, especially the short serves. Yeah.
And, I guarantee you Coach Crowder is going to spend a lot of time in their serve receive practice and just being a little more crisp in that regard.
Well, and, we go back to that what goes away the quickest when you're on a long break. What goes away the quickest is, serve receive.
Yep.
And I think setter's rhythm, maybe the location of their sets. So maybe we saw that was a little bit of an issue tonight.
For sure. Well, we'll be back in about a minute or two with one of the Mocs coming up to meet with us and do a quick interview. So stay tuned. Welcome back. We have Maddie Fowler.
Hi, how are you guys?
Great. How are you?
Good, thank you.
A little tired?
Yes.
Maddie had a fantastic match.
Thank you.
Yeah, you ended up with leading the team with 10 kills, only one error, hitting 582 and 2 blocks.
Yes.
Talk about kind of your mindset after having 11 days off. kind of your mindset coming into this match. Obviously, Tampa undefeated for this season, also undefeated in the conference.
Yes.
Kind of what was your mindset coming into this match?
So we've talked about how the 4 teams that are kind of up in the central part of Florida, we're all in the same boat right now after the hurricane. And so we just roll with the punches. We take these battles and we just keep climbing that hill, and we just keep overcoming and persevering through whatever life throws at us. And I think that it was showed here. We had some major grit, and I saw great things from the team, and I'm excited to see them again. And I think hungriness was our main mindset, and just, better each contact, which I think we did tonight. Yeah.
Awesome.
Your response in the second set was outstanding.
Yes.
And even as they pushed towards the end of that set, you guys pushed back and finished it off 25-23. So, there were periods during the third and fourth set where you guys were playing well, and but what happened with that grit in those sets where you weren't able to accomplish the same thing?
I think we kind of just let up a little bit, which against teams like Tampa and all of our conference, really, you cannot afford to do that. And so when you start a little bit off the stronger side and you don't finish strong, you dig yourself in that hole, and I think that's what we did. We let our foot off the gas, and they were siding out really well against us. Credit to them. Their serve receivers were great. They had some great offense, all of that all around. And I just don't think we were able to stop them those sets, which it was really hard to do. So, yeah, I think that's what we did.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that, as we've watched your team grow and develop into a really kind of neat unit, one of the things that we notice is that you really thrive off of your defense, and especially when you get a big block, or Morgan or Zoe, or there's a lot of emotion that goes into it. And the trick is finding that that same type of energy when great teams aren't going to always, they're pretty good at avoiding getting blocked like that. So how do you find that same energy? I mean, you had a phenomenal night attacking. I think what you did well is you stayed behind the ball all the time. You could see your block really well. And I think you bring a lot of energy to the court. But kind of what's that look like for you as a leader, senior, last season? What are you trying to bring to your team?
Yeah, there's actually a lot of senior and a lot of people walking on our team this year. And I think that the other people who aren't seniors, they're playing for those who are going to walk, and that is our last time, our last year. And I think the morale and all of us playing as a team, being selfless players, it's really great to see, because there's 5 girls on our team that they still have the 4 years, maybe even 5 if they want to take on. And they're doing this for us. They're doing this for the leaders and the seniors on the team, and it's just amazing to see. And I see even if we have quieter players on the court, they lead by example, and they lead with force and just grit and mentality. And I just think that it's good to see the growth over the years. From my first year here in 21 to now, it's just amazing to see how far this program has come.
It's awesome.
Last question for you, Maddie. Obviously, there's going to be some challenges with all the matches that have to be rescheduled. There's going to be some travel on the road, come home, play. Less practice, a lot more playing, which may not be all bad. But how do you think you guys are going to attack this as you try to squeeze a lot of extra matches into a short period of time?
Right, it's a really quick turnaround, and I think our practices are just getting straight to the point and remembering our last opponent, but remembering that we're going to have a next game. So I think just preparing for the team that's right in front of us, and just remembering the little things that we can change from the previous game, and tying that all together and creating a great game plan. Coach Ashley is great at that. So if we could do that, and we do that, we'll be great for the rest of the season.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be exciting into it. We're only 3 matches in, right? So we've got a lot of conference play left, which is exciting. And we will get all 20 conference matches in before the end of the season. So a lot of volleyball left. Next match is Friday. We play Florida Southern plays Barry at 7 p.m. on Friday night. So tune in. If you can't come to the match, we'd love to see you watching online. Really proud of you, Maddie.
Thank you so much.
You have seen the team grow and develop, but I've seen you grow as an individual, and that's really cool. So, continue to work hard and do your best and
lead.
Yep.
Yes, thank you so much.
We always finish all of our interviews with a mock it. So on 3, mock it. 1, 2, 3.
Mock it.